Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous video we installed our application, and I also told you that how you can download the administrator theme. And here in the previous video we created our database, and we are logged in here, right? So now the time is to differentiate the user dashboard and administrator dashboard, right? So how to log in and detect that if the user is a simple user, so we want to add redirect this on the simple dashboard, otherwise redirect this on the admin dashboard. So how to do this here? So let's get started. So I will walk through all of the things which will how professional build a project, right? Okay, so here in the database, so now let's go here. The very first thing is you need to add here in the create users, and here we need to another column, right? So what's the name of the column? So we need the table, and here we will use the boolean value. Basically we are going to store that if the if user is admin or not. You can simply store string user or admin, right? But I'm going to add the boolean value true and false. So why I'm adding the true and false here? Because the string is slower from this boolean value is very faster. So that's why I'm also optimizing my database to not to add other not add the things which will impact our database, right? So um, I'm going to build the things which will not which will be also optimized for our database and our project too, right? So here you need to try boolean, right? Okay, it's why it's not suggesting. Mhm. So it's boolean, and here what's the name of the column? So I'm going to assign this name is admin. Basically it's going to tell us that if the user is admin or not is admin, right? Like this. And here I'm going to add it a default value. Why I'm adding this default value? So whenever user will be registered, so it will be by default a simple user, not an administrator. So later on we will seed our administrator data into our database, right? So we will not to register our administrator. So why we don't register the administrator? As a security purposes we will register only users, not the administrator. So anyone can become an administrator and change into your system. So that's why the good thing is we don't need to register the administrator. We need to just to create its login credential, and administrator will log in using these credentials, right? Okay. So I already told you that in this series I will teach you all of the things, all of the best practices into this project. So we'll also learn a lot of things from this technical point of view and vertical point of view. Okay, so here just type the default, right, and assign this false, right? Okay, false. I added a new column here. You can add this using new migration, but our project is in the startup phase, so we don't have any data. So that's why I added this. So is admin in the existing migration. So now how to execute the existing migrations? If you type this php artisan migrates, so it will tell you that nothing to migrate, right? Still displaying that nothing to migrate. So now how to execute the migration? So now question arises that we will execute all of the migration. Yes, you can execute all of the migrations, right? So you can execute the all of the migration using this command migrate refresh. So it will recreate all of the migration, all of the tables, and drop all of the table and recreate them, right? You can also run this using migrate to fresh. It will also drop all of the tables and recreate them. So there is slight of difference. The refresh use the down method, which is here to drop the tables, but fresh didn't use this drop method. It will drop all of the tables and then create them using up method. Okay, so here we don't want to execute the full all of the migration to execute re-execute them. We want to execute drop this user table and recreate all of the stuff. So how to execute a specific migration? So here just type php artisan migrate and then type add a flag and type path, and then you need to set a path. Which path? You need to define your path from this database directory. So first just type this database, right? A database, and then type migrations, and then you need to write its name. So I'm going to click on this and copy its full name, right? Press Ctrl plus all and copy this name, and here I'm going to paste this name, right? So now I'm telling this Laravel to only migrate this migration. So this migration wouldn't work. Why? Because we need to refresh this out. I need to add the refresh flag, right? Because this migration is already executed. So here I need to type the refresh, hit enter, and oh my god, it's executed all of the migration. That's no, it's didn't executed all of the migration. So it says that says token migration not found, but on the user table it's rollback and executed it again. So it means that it's executing only this user migration, not the other ones, right? Okay, that's great. And if I visit this user table, and yes, there is a admin column is there, right? And now here in this admin column, if I clear this out, now I want to log in my user. Whenever my user is registered, so by default it will save this zero value into this user column, right? So now let's go here, and if I click on this logout, because we don't have any user, so click on this register, and I'm going to register myself, contact 128 password, click on register, and yes, our user is registered. And if I visit this database table, it will contain zero value in this admin column, and yes, it's contain the zero value because by default we assign this zero value, right? And now here, now we are logged in as simple user, right? So how to behave like an administrator? So whenever we want to assign this an administrator, so we'll assign this one value, and here this will now redirect it on the admin dashboard, but we don't have implemented the admin dashboard. So how to implement the administrator dashboard? Its routes, and I'm going to use all of the best practices to create the routes. So how to create them into the Laravel 10. So I will teach you all of the things, and you are very lucky that you are here, and I'm also lucky that you are here. Okay, so here I'm going to create the routes, right, for administrator and for user, right? So here I'm going to first create the simple routes using get and these things, and then later on I will add the prefix and as method, and I will also add the middleware, right? And here I'm going to now use the get method to behave as admin slash dashboard, right? And here I need the dashboard controller, right? So by default this home controller is responsible for opening the dashboard for this login user, right? So we can create the new controller, or we can also use this home controller, right? If I go here, visit this http controller, there is a home controller which is added here, right? But I don't want to use this like this. I want to create the administrator controller and users controller in the separate directory. Why I'm adding them into the separate directory? Because in the whenever your project is going bigger, so you need to structure all of the things in the proper way, right? So it's good practice to store the admin controller, admin request, admin resources, admin routes into the separate one, right? So in this way you can easily interact with your application. If you want to interact with the administrator controller, so you can instantly go to the administrator directory and play around play around these controllers, right? Okay, so here I'm going to create a new controller here. Okay, php artisan make controller, and here I'm going to now first create the directory, and inside the directory I want to create the controller. So I want to add the admin, and then in the admin I want to create the dashboard controller, hit enter, and yes, this controller is created inside this admin directory, right? This one. Okay, so just go here and type dashboard controller, hit enter, and this namespace is added at the top, right? By default this behavior is not added in the VS code, and these icons are visible here because I'm using some tricks with this VS code. I'm using some extensions. If you want to also make your editor intelligent, so you can watch my series, this one, set up VS code for Laravel, where I'm telling you each and everything that how you can uh, change your editor default stuff to the intelligent stuff, right? So where I'm covering all of the things, that how you can add the namespace at the top, how to switch into the any of the files, and a lot of things here. So don't forget to check out this series. So I will add the link in the description. Okay, so dashboard controller class, and then second here I need to add a method name, so I'm adding this method as dashboard. So also I'm going to assign this a name. So why these names are you where these names will use, so I will use these names instead of URL. I will use this route helper to call the route from this name, dashboard. Okay, save this one, and here from this one I can open the administrator dashboard, and this one is for the simple user. So you can also create the dashboard controller for this one, right? But here there is a home controller, so I want to create a user directory, and inside the user directory I want to add this home controller. So now let's go here and type user, and in the user just move this home controller to this user controller, right? Because I want to control all of the home controller stuff, user controller stuff from this home controller, right? You can also create the dashboard controller, but it will a little bit messed up with this administrator dashboard controller, right? Both have same name, so you need to add this at the top, also change things, and also you need to, whenever you are switching into the any of the controllers, we need to first see it that it's which one, it's administrator one or dashboard one. So that's why I named this simple dashboard controller, right? Home controller. Okay, here in the home controller you need to change one more thing here, controller's namespace, right? Oh my god, it's very irritating me. And here you need to update its namespace, right? You need to add here a user namespace, user, and now this namespace is correct, but this one is now wrong, right? So we need to also assign we need to also assign this properly. So we need to assign this app slash http, and then we need to mention the controller. In the controller we need to also add this controller, and yes, now it's correct. This error is gone, right? So by default it's pointing this this controller and this controller, so that's why we need to add an extra thing here, add a namespace, right? Okay, now it's good. And if I go here and give it a refresh, if it's still working, refresh, oh my god, it's throwing an error. So why it's throwing an error? Because Here we updated our namespace, but if I go to the web dot file, so here this one is from app http controllers, and here we need to also add the user slash home controller, right? So now let's give it a refresh, and boom, our error is gone, right? So in this full series I will also teach you that how to solve these error in the real environment, right? And here, by the way, I don't want to add this full path here. I want to add its path at the top. So here just type home controller and hit enter, and this path is added at the top, right? So if I go ahead and save this one, refresh, so nothing is changed, everything is working fine, right? So we created two routes. One is for the simple user and other is for the administrator. So let me check the video size. No, it's not going bigger. I will complete this administrator login stuff in this video, because I don't want to create too much videos. So it will also take you to switch into these videos. So that's why I will shoot this in the one video, so you will learn complete lesson in one video, not you don't need to watch the part 1, part 2 and part 3. So if you are tired, so get some coffee or tea and then rejoin me again. Okay, so here we have this home and dashboard, and now let's implement this. Our home controller is working fine, right? Now the time is to work on the dashboard of administrator, right? So now let's visit this dashboard. So here this would where you need to create the dashboard helper here. So public function and dashboard, right? And return admin dashboard. I'm returning a string for testing that our dashboard is working or not. I misspell it, but it's okay. Okay, just go here and type admin slash dashboard, hit enter, and yes, it's returning that I'm an admin dashboard. Okay, great. So here I want to open a view file. So before this I want to create a view file here. Go to this resources, close this one, views. In the views we have this home, right? So here I want to store the user stuff into the user directory and administrator stuff into the administrator directory. So now let's create these two directories here, admin directory and other one is user directory, right? So here in the user there's a home directory which we opened in the previous video, previous view, right? So let me get rid of this first. I will complete this and then I will change its directory from this home inside this user. Okay, so here we created this an admin, right? And in the admin I need a dashboard file. So here I'm going to create the dashboard.blade.php file, right? Okay, and here I'm going to use all of the same things which are using in this user one, right? So I copied all of the things here, close this one and paste this into the dashboard, and I'm changing this. I am logged in as admin, right? I'm just writing it for the testing purposes and later on I will change this out, right? Okay, save this one and let's give it a refresh, and it's still displaying admin dashboard. Why? Because here we didn't change anything. So remove this one and type view, and in the view we have an admin dot dashboard. Save this one and give it a refresh, and boom, I am logged in as admin, right? So here now this one is admin. If I visit here home, you are logged in, right? So it means that we both have different dashboard, right? So now question arises that for example, here I'm logged in as an administrator, right? Because my status is the one. If I go here and visit this zero and refresh, so I'm still able to access the admin dashboard. So now how to restrict the administrator, restrict the simple user to visit this administrator dashboard, right? So how you will restrict this user? Oh, let me video check the video size. hmm I think I need to stop this here because it will take around 5 to 6 minutes more. So it will took too long. So take some rest and I will meet you in the next video. But before this, if you like this video, subscribe this channel and press the like button. So I'll meet you in the next one. Bye bye.